did Kendrick Lamar become the most influential hip hop artist of his generation? Stick around to find out.
We better do this right, because if we don't, we might end up in a rap beef with Kendrick.
Oh no, we don't want that. No.
I'm not looking for smoke right now.
We like you, Kendrick. We like you.
This is a continuous improvement movement reserved for the few with the grit to prove it. Everybody claim, but the click exclusive. Many pursue, but it's too elusive.
Kendrick Lamar's career is a masterclass in balancing purpose and ambition. He has demonstrated how an artist can stay rooted on his purpose while achieving wild commercial success. I'm sure you know, but let me tell you some of his accolades. So he has a Pulitzer Prize for music. He has 17 Grammys. He got that out of 40 nominations.
Hmm.
He has had five number one songs, four number one albums, or did I get that backwards?
I think that's right, man. And I think he only has 4 albums.
Four. No,
Wait, let me Google that to make sure.
no way.
How many albums does Kendrick Lamar have?
The GOAT.
According to Wikipedia,
Okay, he's
American
got
rapper
6.
Kendrick Lamar has released 6 studio albums.
He's got 6
Okay.
albums, and 4 of them have gone number one.
Okay.
Gee. Right?
We're
Right?
done.
Say less. Say less.
All right. And if you're watching the news lately, he recently had a resolute victory
Mm,
over a beef with Drake, and I'm gonna let you take it from there.
it was
What do you
bad.
think is this man's secret sauce?
It was bad. That last bullet point, the beef.
Tell us
Just
about the
today,
beef.
just today, just hours ago, last night, because we film early in the morning, right? Drake is now suing UMG, Universal Music Group, and Spotify, and maybe some other folks are wrapped into this because Kendrick's song "Not Like Us" has had too much success for Drake's liking, and he thinks that they are using, nefarious tactics to boost his streams and things like that. Which
Mhm.
this is unprecedented. This is unprecedented in a hip hop beef. So I never saw it coming. Never thought I'd see the day. But this is, Drake is a rich and famous guy, and I guess when you're rich and famous and maybe don't have the work ethic or talent that you need to achieve your goals in the moment, you got money, right? And lawyers and all that. So he's trying to find another way to win. But I digress. This isn't about Drake. This is about Kendrick. So what's your question you asked? What's the secret sauce? What's the secret to Kendrick's sauce,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And I think in his case it's twofold, and we tie everything back to continuous improvement. I'm gonna get to that in just a moment, but it's twofold. One is seems to be a relentless pursuit of excellence in general. And
Mhm.
you'll see a common theme with just about everybody we highlight or spotlight is that they truly want to be the master of their craft. And Kendrick does this in a couple ways. One, in his lyricism and his storytelling. Like right now, amongst peers, where I'm a hip hop fan, kind of like a passive hip hop fan, not really as much as I used to be back in my teen adolescent years. Um, but you don't hear a lot of great storytellers nowadays,
Mhm.
and even lyricism as a whole has taken a dive. I'm hoping to see it come back some more, but Kendrick is certainly one of the ones between Kendrick Drake, and and J. Cole. These are kind of the big three. I would say all three of them are very strong lyricists, which I'm happy to see. But Kendrick kind of takes lyricism to another level. He also takes, you know, um, again, storytelling and some other thing in production to another level. Very creative production, right? You see him really digging into the archives and bringing back references to kind of like old school or great tracks from history of hip hop and other genres, R&B, soul, and etc. So you see him, really kind of pushing the boundaries on the art, right? Now, with that said, I would say that's his second ingredient to his secret sauce. I would say the top ingredient is his purpose. And this is something I see in Kendrick relative to Drake, especially, is that Kendrick seems to have a purpose that's much greater than himself. Because I could see, he seems to want to push faith harder. He seems to push civil rights a little harder. He seems to push the culture a little harder. West Coast hip hop, he's kind of tapped into a lot of communities that need, some representation in this space. And he's, to me, he's done a much better job of being that representative. And, a lot of the accolades he's generated over the years just reinforce that this is somebody that other folks see enough of themselves in to want to get behind, and they want to see him succeed because in some direct or indirect way, it kind of leads to their own success. So you see that a lot more with Kendrick than you see with other artists, which I think that's pretty powerful.
I agree. And you know what I see there, Calvin? That relationship between purpose and ambition. When you're in your continuous improvement journey and you're having some success, it's very hard to balance both. And Kendrick has managed to find his balance in a way that reflects his values. He continues to talk about racial injustice, poverty, identity, culture, like you mentioned. And the sense of purpose, he managed to find that balance by taking a lot of time between albums. He had released, like you say, was it 6 albums?
6 total.
6 total. And between those albums, he takes the time to self-reflect and really make sure he's not going for that quick commercial win for the trend, but he is imbuing all those values he stands for in every single song.
Yeah, I remember when in 2011, the legends from the West Coast sort of handed Kendrick the torch.
That was something else.
That was something else. I'd never seen nothing like that. Usually in rap, it's like you just take it, right? And here's a situation where Snoop and Warren G and Corrupt and Game all kind of came together at a concert, after Kendrick released his album and did a performance. They came together and said, "Hey, you got the torch now. You better run with it," right? I remember Snoop saying that. Now that's another unprecedented thing that I've seen on the West Coast, and that's everybody just kind of getting behind Kendrick and saying, "Hey, you got it. We respect you as a leader. We follow you. We're throwing our support behind you." Dre, even, right? And Dre's we all know Dre, Dr. Dre, and what he's done for hip hop and especially the West Coast. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot there. But to your points on culture and purpose is, if you're truly purpose driven, sometimes you're gonna compromise a quick payout for the greater good, and it gets back to self improvement for the greater good, right? Kaizen. It gets back to Kaizen. Absolutely. And Kendrick is another person that embodies the spirit of Kaizen, right? His one album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I started getting back into music with my daughter, right? She's 14 now. She's starting to pay more attention. So she's got me paying more attention. So this is an album where it's all self-reflection. It's all him looking at his own flaws and the things in his life that made him who he is, and the trauma that he's facing and has had to deal with throughout his life, and how that's affecting his decisions now, and all the rest. I think people probably don't spend enough time reflecting on their own weaknesses and flaws and faults in order to find a way forward that's in the interest of the greatest good. And I think Kendrick is one of the people who exemplifies this behavior as well.
So I think we were talking about his secret sauce being purpose, but I think we need to add the self-reflection to that.
Agreed.
It's such a big ingredient.
It's such a big ingredient, I think if you're purpose driven and you're truly trying to stay aligned, then I think the self-reflective piece is essential. You're going to be more critical because you're going to put yourself behind the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to make sure that you're thinking and acting in a way that best serves the bigger goal. So from a continuous improvement standpoint, as a leader, if you truly want to galvanize your organization and have them truly contribute their time and talent in a meaningful way and understand their unique role in helping the organization to achieve its goals, you got to have a purpose. You got to have a North Star. Hey, we could all be working and making money anywhere, right? But we're here and we're here together. So the big $1 billion question is, why are we here together in this moment right now? And that becomes your purpose. And ideally that purpose ties into something that they personally believe is worthy of their time and talent. Mm-hmm. So I think Kendrick does that. I think that's a great lesson in that for us as business leaders as well.
Yes, so that's it. Stay rooted in your purpose. Let's get better every day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. For daily news on operational excellence and how it relates to current events, check us out on the Ticket to Freedom podcast.
Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay up to date on the latest developments in continuous improvement.